performs social action. It does things, and we don't need to go far to see this. If you think about genres, think about what they do, right? They have a purpose. Everything from the wedding invitation does something, right? It invites this guest. We have expository writing, which exposes us to information, exposes us to something that's happening. We have editorials, right? Which tells us about an opinion of a writer. Oftentimes it's seeking to persuade or convince us of something. So this opportunity here, this current event write-up, is opportunity to see writing at work, how it performs social action, and just what that is, right? So what you're going to want to do for this one is choose a credible article from a credible source of something that you're interested in. So if you're interested in animals, you can choose National Geographic, or even something related to outer space. What's NASA and JPL up to? If you're into music, choose something that relates to music, art, healthcare, whatever the case may be. Choose an article about something that interests you, sports, whatever. And what you want to do in a write-up of at least 2 double-spaced pages, you want to say, number one, what's the story about? What's happening? Why does it matter? Who does it affect? And also think about what genre would this piece of writing fall under, and recognizing that within genres, writing is doing something. So what's the writer's purpose? What are they trying to do in this case? To inform us, to persuade us? You tell me. Now, the next part too is, how does it do its work, right? So if we already said, okay, this is a story about, Freddie Freeman and why he's so important to the Dodgers, right? So in celebrating this player, they're doing something, but how do they do it? So that's when we get into rhetorical devices. We're going to look at this, and this is kind of like, did you ever see Wizard of Oz? There was a man behind the curtain, so now we're going to open the curtain and see how writers do what they do. So the first rhetorical device is called logos, and that's an appeal to logic. A lot of times with logos, we see numbers, we see charts, we see statistics. So if we were doing an article about why Freddie Freeman is so important to the Dodgers, then a logos appeal would be something that uses maybe RBI, batting average, just like different statistics, right? Numbers. Now, the other one we have is ethos, and this brings us to our word of the week, which is ethics. And what that does is ethics explores right and wrong. So an appeal to ethos a lot of times leaves you with a sense of righteous indignation. If you are left feeling like, that's not right, that is so unjust, that is not right, then that is ethos. Pay attention a lot to the words that are used to make you experience this too. The other thing that ethos does is that it establishes credibility in the author or speaker. I want to give you an example. A few semesters ago in my class, we looked at Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech, which was given in front of the Washington Memorial. And when he was introduced, the announcer said, "Ladies and gentlemen, with you, our nation's moral leader." Establishing a message is someone saying, hey, this is somebody credible, somebody you should listen to. That, of course, is an appeal to ethos. The other one is pathos. And if we look up at pathos definition, I think I like Merriam-Webster. Here we go. So pathos comes from Greek, feeling, emotional. Once again, it comes from Greek, and that's one thing to remember, is the emotions part. There was one definition that here it is. I found it. Okay, look how they define it here. Suffering, experience, emotion. So I always think of somebody who is like experiencing a lot of emotion and suffering because of it. Maybe somebody hysterical. That's like the mental image that I have to remember that pathos is an appeal to emotion. Even though these others, we have the first three letters to remind us of what they mean. Pathos, we just have to remember, is appeal to emotion, coming from the Greek. So if the writer is using certain buzzwords to make us feel a certain way, or tugging at our heartstrings, or making us feel something, of course, that's an appeal to emotion. That's pathos. So, really quickly, those are some of the devices that writers use. So, pay attention to this. Are they doing any of that? And obviously, after telling, what's happening in this story, what's the genre, what are they doing it, how is the writer doing it? Obviously, you want to say, your reaction to it. Why do you care about the story? Why did you think it was cool? Why did you choose it? Also, does it affect you? So the idea is to choose an article that you actually care about, that is interesting to you, a credible source. So at least 2 double-spaced pages. Here's a few student samples if you'd like to check those out. Please make sure to get this in. So please let me know if you have any questions. See you guys.